I'm Dani Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
Hi, my name's Alessio. You're watching my Auntie Dani. And Good Morning Frederick. And I love it.
I gotta start the week off with that. Good morning, Frederick. Today is Monday, October 14th. I'm your host, Dani Gurry. And yes, that is my nephew, Alessio, who, little prompting, but he does love my show. He loves it. He loves his Auntie Dani too, of course. Show 138. Welcome to it. Let's give you a show rundown here. We're going to start off with what's happening in Frederick with the calendar of events for this week and the weekend upcoming. Got trending stories with Dani and Marco, my brother and I. Got an interview with Chris Haugh, local historian. It's part 1 today. I will continue with part 2 tomorrow. First ever 2-parter, but he's so interesting and has so many great things to talk about. I didn't want to cut it all up. And also an interview with Rich Ohnmacht, the president of Woodsboro Bank, who's doing a free lesson in cybersecurity for you if you'd like to attend. That's coming up this week. And also Possum Pets. You can meet Kitty this week. Absolutely. That's what the kitty's name is, Kitty. All right. We've also got our donations for Christmas Cash for Kids. You can see the totals right there. Looking forward to see what we got for October. Remember, we got those new ornaments just in. I'll make sure that the shop is stocked. It'll be $10. You get this great Christmas ornament along with a Good Morning Frederick sticker. How adorable is that? It's heavy. It's metal. Very cute. All right. So for $10, you can get the ornament and a Good Morning Frederick sticker. And those will be available at the shop along with our fleece and beanies and long sleeve tees and our regular tees as well. Please stock up. When you buy the good merch, you get to help kids in Frederick have Christmas this December. Also asking to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep asking your friends to subscribe. Want to welcome all our new subscribers. If you're just popped in, you're like, hey, what is this show about? I subscribe, but I don't know. Well, it's all about Frederick, Maryland. Beautiful county right in the western part of our state. And it's about the people, the community, the happenings. And we're going to do another big giveaway when we hit 1,500 subscribers. So keep subscribing for sure. All right. Don't forget about the podcast. If you're in the car or you just want to listen to the show, you can do that. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, and other platforms. All right. Let's get this Monday going. Oh, yes. Good Morning Frederick, though, would not be here without our show sponsor. We help you move, no matter whether you're moving across the street or somewhere around the country. Nicholas and his team of moving experts make the moving process easier. We Help You Move is veteran-owned and a great supporter of this Frederick community. WeHelpYouMove.com. All right, let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. We've got it coming right now. All right, happening in Frederick is sponsored by Atlas Wood Floors. serving the area for more than 34 years. They have wood floors, luxury vinyl plank, pretty much anything you find that you want to adhere to your floor, they can handle it. I tell you, give them a call today, 301-948-9663, or go to atlaswoodfloors.net. Call them today, schedule a quote, and you could have brand new floors for the holidays. Maybe even before Thanksgiving if you're really nice to them. I don't know. I don't know what their schedule's like, but could be possible if you don't have a huge job. Call 301-948-WOOD and ask for Jeff. He'll take care of you, I promise. All right, let's talk about what is happening as far as the calendar. Don't forget the ongoing efforts for the hurricane relief. They are happening still. Pulling for Veterans, I believe, will be staging at the Frederick Fairgrounds through Wednesday. Then they're going to load up all the tractor trailers and refrigerated trucks, hoping to head out of town by Friday. Although I did hear this weekend they might take a load down today and another load on Friday. So stay tuned. Watch the Pulling for Veterans page so you can keep up to date with what they're collecting and where you can drop off and all that good stuff. All right, today is Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. You may have the day off of work. I don't know. I believe maybe the banks might be closed and federal buildings, post offices. I'm not quite sure when anything is closed anymore. High school sports are throughout the county today. 6:30 p.m. at the Walkersville Library. ESL for high beginners conversation classes happen. I know a lot of people ask about ESL classes. You can check that out tonight at the Walkersville Library. And at 7 o'clock, Rack Brewing, I Don't Like Mondays Comedy Showcase happens. And that is free to attend. Tuesday, tomorrow, the 15th, 3 p.m., Thurmont Regional Library has open chess play. I really have always wanted to learn how to play chess. I should head over there. 3:30, YMCA Frederick County, that's the downtown Y, has the farmers market, and high school sports continue throughout the county. At 5:30, you can head to the Red Horse Restaurant for Frederick Business and Professional Women's Meeting. And at 6 o'clock, Old Mother Brewing, charcuterie and brew by Love Boards. You can learn how to make some charcuterie. At 6 also, at the Middletown Library, family fun night with mini golf. That's kind of cool. You can head over there. Wednesday, they're 10 to 3. Frederick County Animal Control has the free microchip clinics thanks to that grant from Subaru Loves Pets. High school sports continue throughout the county. 6 p.m., Old Mother Brewing has board game night. If you want to go play some board games, head over to Old Mother at 6 p.m. How about Thursday, the 17th at Myersville Community Library? They also have chess. You can stop in there at Myersville. You can check out high school sports throughout the county. And at 7 p.m., Thurmont American Legion has line dancing. Now you can see in bright yellow on each page of this the way that you can actually check out the Everything Frederick calendar. You just have to go to that bit.ly link. So you could just go to your browser, type bit.ly / it is case sensitive, upper E, upper F, and then lowercase calendar. And you can look at that full calendar anytime you want. Friday and Saturday, October 18th, Friday, cocktails and carbs to benefit Hartley House. This is a great event. It's going to benefit Hartley House. You can buy your tickets at hartleyhouse.org. Trek or Treat starts at Tree Trekkers on Friday, the 18th. You're going to want to go to treetrekkersmd.com to get your tickets for that. October 19th, Walk a Mile in Their Shoes to benefit Hartley House is happening. And also, Trek or Treat at Tree Trekkers is happening. And then coming soon, you want to save the date, October 26th at 8 a.m., the All-In TJ 3K Color Rush. You can head over there. That benefits the Hurwitz Breast Cancer Fund. And then also from 2 to 5 on the 26th, it's Canines on the Creek to benefit the FSK Lions Club. On the 29th, from 5:30 to 8:30, it is the Junior Entrepreneur Pitch Competition for the city of Frederick. And November 2nd, it is 9 to 1, the Second Chances Garage Road Rally is happening. And that is such fun. You're going to want to get the kids involved on that one. They can spot the things that you're looking for while you're driving. If you have an event you want included in the calendar, just email it to everythingfredericklive@gmail.com. All right, let's see what we have for our trending stories for today.
Trending steady. It's trending on Twitter.
It's huge. It's trending all over the internet. Oh, it is your trending stories. What is going up? Happy Monday. It is Marco and Dani.
Okay, not really sure what happened with our trending stories there. I'm going to try to bring that back and get that on. I'll put that on after we just take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with our trending stories. We're going to have Chris Haugh, local historian. We're going to do part 1 of his interview. We've got Rich Ohnmacht, the president of Woodsboro Bank, and Possum Pets. You're going to meet Kitty. That is sponsored by Pet and Home Care, of course. We're going to figure out why trending stories decided not to. Actually, let me try something real quick here. We're going to try something and see if this works. I don't really know what is going on with that, but let's just see.
Trending steady. It's trending on Twitter.
It's huge. It's trending all over the internet. Oh, it is your trending stories. What is going up? Happy Monday. It is Marco and Dani, and these stories get you caught up with everything you need to know before your day starts here on Good Morning Frederick. What's up, Dani?
Oh, yes. Happy Monday. It's great to have you here, and I love these trending stories we're going to talk about this morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to start off on my end with not a great trending story. Obviously, the Battle of the Beltway happened yesterday, and, everybody that knows me knows I'm a huge fan of the Washington Commanders. Listen, I mean, in this area, the Battle of the Beltway, it only happens once every 4 years because they're not really in the same division.
Yep.
And it just wasn't, wasn't great if you are a Commanders fan for sure, but congratulations to the Ravens. It was hard fought, and I'm sure the Ravens fans are going to go ahead and take it in stride and just be gracious. And you know how it is. But it wasn't great yesterday if you're a Skins fan. But you know what's funny is, the Ravens have been doing it for a while, and we haven't. And so you got to like the fact that they came out and did whatever. But Jane Daniels looked pretty good. Terry McLaurin.
He didn't seem to have as much protection today. He seemed to try to do what he could, but he kind of, he was trying to play alone, I think, a little bit.
Trying to play. Why does Lamar wear a winter hat when it's 85 degrees outside? That's what I tweeted earlier. Listen, I don't know. I mean, I can't really hate on Lamar. He's a good quarterback. But what are we doing? They bottled him up. They really had a really good. Listen, the Ravens are a perennial. I mean, they're unstoppable. Derrick Henry is a cheat code. They got a good team. They probably will go to the Super Bowl. So it was a big test. I just didn't like the fact that and again, it's going to sound like loser talk, but there were a few calls that I thought were sketchy that didn't go. I mean, they hit Jane Daniels in the face one time, didn't call a 15-yard penalty. Even on TV, they're like, I don't know, that doesn't look like a penalty. But we got, our defense has some issues. We've got issues going around everywhere. But you know what? Congratulations. Hats off to the Ravens. You guys, fantastic.
I'm just glad we scored as much as we did, and it was as close as it actually was. That's, for us.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, and in years past, it has been a lot worse. I think the Commanders are still on a trajectory going upwards, and we got a lot to look forward to. But you know what? Congratulations, Baltimore. Battle of the Beltway. You won that one. And now Lamar Jackson, I think he's 22-1 all-time versus the NFC in general. And they got a good squad, man. You got to give it up to them. But
I think as long as the Commanders can pick off all the guys in our division, I think we're good to go. I mean, I think we'll still have a great season finish.
Not a big fan of the way we're playing defense. I think every draft pick we make next year needs to be on the defensive side of the football. Also not a big fan of like all of our – this is a typical Washington Commanders thing. You know, we start getting into the season, and then we got guys like Jonathan Allen hurt his shoulder and wanted to be on the sideline because Derrick Henry was running everywhere. Dorrance Armstrong, one of our other big second play of the game's on the sideline. B-Rob – Brian Robinson Jr. last week, no problems, nothing. All of a sudden he shows up on the injury report and then he doesn't play against the best defense. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. To me, it's like some of these guys, they just sort of start coasting and they need to be, and maybe I'm stretching. I don't know. Maybe they really are hurt. I don't know. They didn't look like it, but again, hats off to Baltimore.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens the rest of the year.
Well, there's some conspiracies floating around TikTok, and if you're in the DC area, actually, and also in North Carolina, this came up on my feed a couple of times, that there was some foreign object spotted in the skies over North Carolina and DC, and the timeline is suspiciously the same. It would have made sense if something came from North Carolina over to DC. But let's watch Beauty Mark here on what he first posted.
All right, here we go.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I just so happened to see the video about where the guy in Raleigh, North Carolina was talking about how he saw it around 3 a.m. I saw it around 3:20, so that kind of adds up. And see, right now I'm in Washington, D.C., specifically around Capitol Hill. And I have about 100 other locals that said that they saw the same exact thing around that time. So I have no idea what the guy's talking about, how he saw the aircraft crash around 12 a.m. I don't really know what that is specifically. I don't know if he's talking about the same thing or whatever. But there are thousands of residents apparently that live in North Carolina that are saying that they saw the same exact thing around the same exact time. So I don't really know, but I can tell you for sure that I've never seen an aircraft that large just blazing through the sky, especially now at 3 a.m. But I'm actually in the car right now. I'm about to go investigate and see what the I can find because apparently there's a lot of police traffic down there right now. And whatever it was huge as I mean, I've never seen an aircraft like that big, or at least just that on fire. I couldn't tell for sure, but that was blazing through the sky like crazy. And I've actually had the privilege of seeing a UFO crash. I know that sounds crazy to anybody listening to me right now, but just hear me out, okay? I used to live in Colorado, okay? And if you go around Denver, sometimes in the night, throughout the year, you might see some really weird, okay? That crash is actually documented as well. I'm probably going to post an article in the comment section because it was around 2012, so I got to find it. But when it happened, it was really crazy actually because as soon as it came down crashing, there was a ton of fighter jets behind it. And then as soon as it crashed, the entire power to the Denver airport just so happened to be out.
It's really interesting because there's actually footage of a streak across the sky that was very wide that came down around. And I saw 3 or 4 videos of people in DC, and there were hundreds of police officers around, and no one could figure out what was exactly happening. So just very odd stuff happening over DC and North Carolina.
You know what I like actually is I like the fact that he sounds like every guy on the news. It sounded like a freight train, and that it's like it's just very vivid memory of exactly what happened. Dropped a few F-bombs in there just to make it good. Well, what was it? Did you see the actual? Did anybody get a visual, or was it just they just saw lights?
Well, in the North Carolina video, well, actually, I think it was a North Carolina video. There were 4 lights in the sky that were flickering and disappearing very quickly and reemerging. And then we saw that like chemtrail that he posted right before that. But then other people are starting to like corroborate timelines and what they saw as well. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? Who's taking over DC? You never know.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. Well, I mean, yeah, there seems to be more and more of that type of stuff going on. I mean, I see all kinds of, with the advent of the Ring video camera, now with cameras literally almost every square inch of the United States and the world, really, and all the kind of weird stuff that's kind of been going on that keeps saying the veil is thinning if you're within the, and listen, I'm not making fun of it. I'm right there with you with all these stories and conspiracy theories as they were. Although every conspiracy theory that I've been following has actually come true, so who knows? But we'll see. I mean,
I
listen,
always say the more they say we're crazy, the more it's probably true.
100%. Yeah, the government's never going to tell you they're doing stuff. I think we have crafts that if you were to tell the general public what we can actually really do, it would shock all of them. I think we can do almost anything you could probably think of at this point. We're just hiding most of it. I don't know if you saw this story, but let me tell you something. I played Little League football. Obviously, loved football my entire life. And I'll play the story and then we'll just talk about it, because this to me is something that I just cannot believe if you've ever seen anything. Yeah, so check this out and let me know what you think.
Belt to ass trend that's been going on in youth football. I got 3 crazy videos I want you to watch. I'm going to shut up and come in on the other side.
So this kid has this belt, and he's smacking these other kids with this belt.
To ass.
What in the heck?
It's called BTA.
Who is allowing this?
Yeah.
This is the handshake after the game, right?
Yeah, when you're already pissed if you lost.
What?
First
That's
of all,
very
let me say
aggressive.
Every adult
Yeah.
associated with allowing these kids to do this would be
And that's what
fired.
he goes on to say there. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, this happens to be, it's poor sportsmanship, number one. But these the coaches, you cannot, let me tell you something. Anybody watching this that actually knows me, you try to hit me with a belt after I've lost after a game, it's going down on the 50-yard line. That is not happening. I don't care what age I was. And 90% of the friends that I played with would also be the same way. I don't even know how this starts. I don't even know how this gets accepted.
Who started this at all?
But it's called BTA, belt to ass, and these coaches let these kids come out after this team is whooped up on you and smack you. Instead of, giving you a handshake on the butt or whatever, smacking the butt, they take a belt and smack you. Nah, dude, it's so weird how these things start, but it goes back to me. How do the coach, if I were a coach, I'd be like, nobody better have a belt. If I see a belt, you're going to get the belt from your parents, or you're just not going to be on this team. I'll just throw you off the team.
That is unbelievable that this is a trend that is supported by parents and or coaches. Unbelievable, unacceptable, just crazy.
I mean, it is insane. To me, I just can't. I can't even fathom. I don't know. I don't know how these coaches are allowing this to happen. That's the thing that really makes me mad, because the kids are one thing, and sure, they don't get it or whatever, but the coaches.
They should, but
they should.
Yeah.
But there's 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds, but the coach, come on, bro, you cannot let your team do this. This is such poor sportsmanship. I hope this goes away very quickly.
Yeah, me too. I hope it's just outlawed from most, minor league or little league football, youth football. Yeah. It's crazy.
And it's not like you can't see what's happening. They carry the belt to the field. So it's not like that just happened. We didn't know what was going on. It's like, come on, bro. No.
Yeah, no. Absolutely must stop.
Yeah.
All right, so this next one, this conspiracist, I see him a lot on TikTok. This is kind of funny. He's trying to paint the picture that Taylor Swift is this Troy Sivan or whatever, and I think that Troy person is in Australia, maybe.
Yeah.
Not really sure, but this is really quite funny.
Now,
this is really funny.
Earlier in the program, when I said I'm down with the conspiracy theories, just like you get, this is one where I'm out on. I'm out on this guy's Taylor. So give me a break. This one and the flat Earth. I can't help you guys on those two, and I know those are big.
I've been getting a lot of those flat Earth videos as well, but this one made me laugh.
This is crazy.
I've had some people requesting this one, so let's take a look. Taylor Swift.
I mean, they do look alike.
Australian songwriter, actor Troy Sivan. They look kind of similar, don't they?
I mean, how on earth, seriously,
test.
could you even?
Seems to match up.
You wouldn't even have time to be Taylor
Right,
Swift.
right.
I mean, and be anything else.
That's the thing. I mean, Taylor Swift can't go anywhere without millions of people knowing where she is at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way this guy's Taylor Swift. Yeah, they spin around. I mean, give me a break. Come on, man. I mean, do they look alike? Sure. Could they be lost long twins? Maybe. But these are the type of conspiracy theorists that ruin it for all the other good ones that are out there.
Exactly.
And this guy he's like, yeah, trust me. It's like, come on.
Stretch it. And also the fact that they both go on, the same talk shows. I mean, just hilarious. Just very, very funny.
Yeah.
So that I have to throw that in there because, there are some crazy nuts out there.
Yes, there. And this guy's one of them. So just be careful. Listen, there's a lot of people believing a lot of things, but I mean, this is insane.
There is a list of foods that people have said are delicious in small amounts, but gross in big amounts. Has this ever happened to you when you eat something you really love, but you have so much of it, it makes you sick, and then you can't eat it for a while?
If I could stand up here, you would know that answer is no. Although I do have my
I see you
Good Morning Frederick. No, I love stuff. I eat stuff. I don't get sick of stuff. Now, there's one condition. I think when I was like 9 years old, I ate a whole can of Pringles and I threw up.
I was just gonna say the Pringles thing for you,
and I didn't eat Pringles
that.
For a while. I'm back to eating them every once in a while. So that's called taste aversion. So maybe that's a little bit of a sliver of what you're talking about. But I've never gotten sick off of something and then just never eaten it again. I always go, well, I got to go back to eating those.
I might eat those again. Well, in this list, I mean, I do have some like cheesecake. Like I could have a slice of cheesecake, but more than that would be. See,
now I have a high tolerance for sugar. You know me. Like I've actually taken my finger across a cake and scooped up the icing and just eaten it.
Well, that's another one on this list is frosting.
Boy, I could eat a whole can of frosting, but I have whatever it is that stops you regular people from getting, because people are like, I have too much sweet, I can't do it. I don't have whatever that gene is. I lost that one because I can just keep eating. But I could see that for people. How about whipped cream on the list?
Well, no, not whipped cream. I could eat a lot of cotton candy is one.
But you don't even eat a lot. It just melts in your mouth. You could eat a ton of cotton candy and never really eat anything.
I always crave it. I get it every year. Once a year, I'll get my cotton candy, and then I can't eat much more after that. It is a lot. It's a lot of sugar for me.
Yeah.
Somebody said pancakes.
I'm not a big pancake guy. Yeah, I'm not a big pancake guy to start with. So. Yeah.
Okay. I can only eat a couple of, especially now the IHOP ones, which are basically dessert on pancakes. It's like we had the red velvet ones one time, and they have like these salted caramel ones, which I can only have a couple of them.
Yeah. I call those anything but pancakes. It's basically everything in the kitchen except a pancake on it.
And cheese is on the list.
See, now I like some cheese, but yeah, I don't know if I ate enough of it because cheese will bind you up quick. Yeah. So. That's more of a staying alive type of thing where I'm like, that's too much. You're going to actually die.
Too much. You're never going to poop again.
Right.
Ever.
Exactly. It'd be like the bears in hibernation, when they do that thing and they plug it up. That's what I do. But that's called the beginning of football season for me.
Is that what they do? The bears, they plug it up.
They plug it up because, they're going to be sleeping for 6 months. It's basically what I do. I just stay in my apartment for 6 months because this is the time of year where it starts to get a little cold outside. And I'm like, no, just
dark early.
Yeah, cheese it up and just hope for the best in 3 months.
Cheese it up. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
See you in 6 months.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
That's a good one.
All right, there's your trending stories for this Monday. Dani, fantastic job as always, and I appreciate everybody checking in. Make sure you hit share, like, and comment, and let us know maybe some trending stories that you have. You can leave them in the comments, or if you want us to cover, for sure, we'd love to hear from you.
All right, have a great day. Yes. Love the trending stories. Forget that there's the music at the end. All right. Now we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Chris Haugh, Rich Ohnmacht, and Possum Pets. All coming up right after this.
Join Hartley House on October 18th and 19th for 2 incredible events. Get your tickets for Cocktails and Carbs on Friday the 18th from 6 until 9, and plan to attend Walk a Mile in Their Shoes on the 19th at 10 a.m. in Baker Park. Your participation will help to end intimate partner violence. Details at hartleyhouse.org.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shadow family beyond compare.
Looking for a great place to eat, and I decided to take my mom to Thai Merrick.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Oh my gosh, it was just so beautiful. You didn't want to eat it. It was a great presentation, and I tried things I had never tried before. And you walk away just with scrumptious on your mind.
Oh yeah. So they served us a tea and an iced tea, and none of us are big iced tea drinkers, but it was one of our favorite things, wasn't it?
Oh, it was sweet and light and delicious.
It was. And then the curry puffs, I think they were.
That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
It reminded me of something my mother and grandmother used to cook. It was excellent flavor.
Well, if you want excellent flavor, great presentation, I mean to be stuffed, head to Thai Merrick, 1170 West Patrick Street in Frederick, thaimerrick.com. Oh, God, that reminds me how good that food was, for sure. All right, let's talk about some great people of Frederick. People of Frederick, sponsored by Antietam World Travel Service. Why trust Antietam World Travel Service to coordinate your vacation? It's simple. They're a full-service travel agency to save you countless hours of online research. They also have relationships with suppliers that'll give you the best value and maybe even some perks that you can't get. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntietamTravel.com right now and get started on your dream vacation. Chris Haugh is Frederick's leading history guy, the go-to when you're doing research or a documentary about this area. He's so interesting that this will be our first two-parter ever. Here's part 1 with my friend Chris Haugh. Hope you enjoy. I'm in the Key Memorial Chapel at Mount Olivet Cemetery with my good friend Chris Haugh.
Yes, we go way back.
We go back as far as my history here in Frederick begins.
Indeed.
Actually, that's.
I'm
where
working
we
on
go
that
back.
documentary. Yeah.
I actually would love to reach out to somebody who might have footage of some of our musicals back in our elementary school days. Have you always loved history?
I have.
Yeah,
and
so
how can you not love history if you live in Frederick, Maryland?
Yeah.
So my family, we moved here from northern Delaware in 1974. My dad was a history minor, a big history fan. So every weekend it was Harper's Ferry, Antietam, Gettysburg, Washington, D.C., Baltimore. So I got it honestly.
Yeah. So your dad really kind of
My
implanted
dad,
that in
yes,
you.
he did. And then family history as
Yeah.
well. He was kind of the family historian, so I kind of picked up that mantle from him.
Well, you have actually made an entire career out of knowing, loving, and appreciating the history in our region. You have company History Shark Productions.
Mm-hmm.
You've produced a lot of documentaries about this area, researched a ton More than anybody. Does anyone know any more than you in Frederick?
I don't know. My mentor, John Ashbury, perhaps. But I've had a lot of great teachers along the way. And to be able to do the documentaries, to be able to write history, and to be able to teach history, and now I'm teaching history under my History Shark Productions moniker. It's really been special. And I never thought I'd work for a cemetery. And here I am, community relations and historic preservation manager, but they brought me in here to really follow the lead of a lot of historic cemeteries around the country, some that aren't even active anymore, but how can you look at tourism and preservation for viability to really keep up the grounds? Because in a lot of cases with cemeteries, once all the lots are sold, and if they don't have some kind of perpetual care endowment or fund, who's mowing the grass of these places?
Right.
And in our case here, we are an active cemetery. We are, of course, coming to you from Mount Olivet Cemetery.
Yeah.
But it's an active cemetery. But at the same time, the historic part of the cemetery, we have some issues with stones. It's not vandalism, it's just old age.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't put foundations underneath stones. And the ground moves at times. I'm not going to tell you why. But when cavities below perhaps could fill, these monuments start leaning and tilting. Once these old marble gravestones start tilting, and a lot of times fall over and sometimes fall into other stones. So we started this preservation program, and I've got a friends group, Friends of Mount Olivet, where we have nearly 140 folks and a lot of retirees, but they come out and they clean stones and they repair. I have a team that repairs stones. But we also have those volunteers helping with research, and it's just been an incredible thing.
And look, I think that this was such the perfect place for you, really, in the sense that.
How do you mean that?
Yeah, I was just going to. I was really going to clarify.
There's some people that know there's a perfect place for somebody, and it's a cemetery. But in my case, I know where you're going.
Yeah. Look, this is like no ordinary cemetery. There's the historic part of it in Frederick, and the proximity to downtown just makes it so special.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one thing is, when I was at tourism, Visit Frederick, our catchphrase that we came about right about the time I left there was billing Frederick or marketing it as hip and historic.
Oh.
Now, I want to be reverent here. You can't just say a cemetery is hip and historic, but in a way, we kind of mirror the historic district and downtown with this adaptive reuse. But, once again, looking at art and culture in just a very special way. And that's what we have. This was originally founded in 1852 as a garden cemetery. A lot of people don't know what a garden cemetery is. This is a movement that started in the Northeast. As a matter of fact, Mount Auburn Cemetery in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And it was kind of a departure from the old church graveyard, where things are more orderly, puritanical. Used to have skull and crossbones on some stones, but here it was kind of a convergence with the Victorian age and kind of this communing with nature and looking at death as communing with nature. Even the term cemetery translates from Greek to resting place, sleeping place.
Yeah.
And that's why you have things like rest in peace and all that. But the beautiful monuments and architecture that we have on our grounds, especially during that period, that Victorian era, the 1800s, where you have statues of women in mourning and angels, and you have throwbacks to antiquity like obelisk and urns. But there was a real rhyme and reason, and it was kind of, again, looking at death as kind of this communing with nature, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and where a cemetery can be a place where you can have tree-lined avenues and flowers and exotic plantings and water features. And it was really amazing, very progressive that Frederick would do that in the 1850s. When you think about what a cemetery is, a cemetery is about memorialization. And I think here, do you want a cemetery that nobody comes to? That is a desolate, scary place, like, the connotations of Halloween, creepy cemetery. No, I think all of it's a reality that we all will die. But I think they say, and this is a pertinent thing I tell groups all the time, they say you die two deaths. The first death is when, of course, the physical body shuts down. That's obvious. But they say the real death now is when nobody says your name anymore. People forget that you walk this earth. Nobody visits your grave.
Yeah.
And that is the true death of a person, where they're really not in consciousness or memory anymore. And that's one of the things that I do here. Been doing for 8 years. I write a blog called Stories in Stone. Each week I push it out through our Mount Olivet Facebook site, and it's on our MountOlivetHistory.com site. But I give myself a week, and I am inspired by either a stone or a name, or I've come across a newspaper article about somebody from yesteryear, and I really concentrate and I try to tell that person's history in a blog form.
Wow.
Some people have told me I've broken the laws of blogs because I've gone too long, but I try to illustrate with pictures if I can find them, or at least where did they live here in town. And it's really been neat. But what I have a great support and readership in the community there. I'm able to kind of tell Frederick's story through the context of these individual people who lived it.
Everyday people.
And who gave us the Frederick we have today. So it's really been neat. And yeah, I've done my share of Francis Scott Key, Barbara Fritchie, and Thomas Johnson. But it's a lot of folks that are just little blips in the history annals and books, and or have been forgotten in history, and in a way kind of bringing their story back to life.
How many people are buried here at Mount
We
Olivet?
have over 41,000 interments here in Mount Olivet. They used to call, back in the 1800s, they marketed Mount Olivet as Frederick's City of the Dead. Now, you're not... Today, you know a lot about marketing. You're not going to catch a lot of flies with that. I think then they kind of softened it in the 1900s to Frederick's Second City, or Frederick's Other City.
I gotcha.
But at a time where we had more people in Mount Olivet than we did in the city.
You also do courses to teach the average person here.
Yes, indeed.
About the history of Frederick. Tell me a little bit about how those got started, and I know you've got some coming up.
Sure. Well, it kind of a convergence of two things. So I had started this side business, about 12 years ago, called History Shark, like the fin, Jimmy Buffett, History Shark Productions, and there's a long story behind it I won't get into. So I have done a number of things like writing panels for the National Park Service, or helping people with their genealogy, or giving lectures, or helping organization with their institutional history. So I'm kind of this history for hire guy.
Yeah.
And last summer of 2023, I decided to start teaching some of the classes that I taught for FCC, kind of reformatted some of them because I didn't have as many stipulations on my time. And I started teaching them, and I asked Ron Piercy if I could teach them here. So we teach them in this chapel that we're talking to you from here, the Key Chapel. It's also a good way of getting folks in the cemetery. And kind of people that have never been, or maybe are hesitant to come to the cemetery, to kind of see what a great history resource this is. I call it a museum without walls. But anyway, we started teaching. My first class I taught, I call it Chris Hall's Frederick History 101. Not because I have an ego, but because this is kind of my history as I kind of based this documentary called Fredericktown back in '95. I take participants there from really the founding of Maryland, in the 1600s to the 1730s, really is when things started getting hopping here in the Monocacy, through the Revolutionary War period into the 1800s, the train coming through, the National Road, and then forward into, when was the first agricultural fair, up to the Civil War, of course, and then beyond with industry here into the early 1900s with suburbanization and the trolley and the hospital, to Fort Detrick or Camp Detrick coming about, and kind of take it to the current day, the Frederick Flood, either a refresher course for longtime residents or for newcomers. I mean, an overview of this community. But I love talking about Frederick history, and I love those aha moments of being able to tell people, and that is why Mater Avenue is Mater Avenue.
Yes, Chris is excellent at telling history. He's very funny as well. And you should take his class. But part 2 of that will be tomorrow. All right, quick break. And then we're back with Rich Ohnmacht, who is from Woodsboro Bank, and Possum Pets. You're going to meet Kitty. And that is sponsored by Pet and Home Care. All of that comes up just after this.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves. Double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Join Hartley House on October 18th and 19th for 2 incredible events. Get your tickets for Cocktails and Carbs on Friday the 18th from 6 until 9, and plan to attend Walk a Mile in Their Shoes on the 19th at 10 a.m. in Baker Park. Your participation will help to end intimate partner violence. Details at hartleyhouse.org.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they're right here in Frederick. They specialize in roofing and siding. They can also take care of your windows and gutters, as well as a patio or deck. A&S Construction is available at 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. Or obviously you can search them online, ansconstruction.net. Remember, you get $750 off any roof or siding replacement or $50 off any roof repairs. Give Sandra a call, 301-703-2157. That's 301-703-2157, A&S Construction. All right, now time to talk about who is making our market phenomenal. Let's go. Oh, I got to figure out where I am here. Market makers. Where is Dublin Roasters? I don't think I uploaded it, but we're going to have to do it. So you're going to have to hang on 1 second. I'll do this part first. All right. Woodsboro Bank is opening all right. I can't do that and do this. Dublin. Let's see. We got market makers. Here we go. Here we go. It's going to happen. Woodsboro Bank is offering a great morning session on cybersecurity and check fraud prevention. It is free to attend. We're going to introduce Rich Ohnmacht here in just a second after we get Dublin Roasters, who is our sponsor. Here we go. Market Makers is sponsored by Dublin Roasters, the Frederick Coffee House fueled by love and positivity. Visit Dublin Roasters at 1780 North Market Street or at dublinroasterscoffee.com. Here is Rich Ohnmacht from Woodsboro Bank, and he's going to tell us all about this event they're having. Own and operate a business, you got to be with the best bank in the community, and we know who that is already, Woodsboro Bank. And I am here with one of the bank president, Rich Ohnmacht, and you guys have an event coming up for businesses to learn a little bit about cybersecurity if they don't already know.
We sure do, Dani, and thanks for those kind words of introduction. Yes, we have an event that we're calling Don't Run Scared, Run Smart, Enhancing Security to Combat Fraud and Cyber Threats. So that is coming up here shortly, October 16th, from networking starts at 8, and the program will begin at 8:30. Yeah, very good. And, obviously very topical. My husband's in IT, so I hear this all the time about cyber threats happening to local businesses. You don't have to be on anyone's radar, so to speak. You just have to have a defense system that's not great against those attacks. What types of things are you guys going to cover in this this little mini conference? Sure. We're going to cover a broad variety of topics related to cyber, Dani. We're really fortunate. We've done a couple of these on different topics that we think would be of interest to our clients and the business community, and more in general as well. And cyber is one that has been more in the news, more in the forefront, and in the minds of business owners in 2024 than it ever was before. So we have a panel assembled. It's going to be moderated by one of our board members, Scott Reiser, the CEO at Yakabot. But the topics include IT systems, check fraud. We have our own J.R. DeLauder, who heads our deposit operations group, will be one of the speakers. And cyber insurance, which is something that a lot of companies have, but a lot don't. And it's something that we think every company should be considering at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. And again, those threats of holding your information ransom, or, the problem I think with the cyber attacks is that it can come through anywhere. So those phishing attempts where you're clicking on your Amazon package or your accounts being deleted. And so when you look at a company that might only have 30 or 40 employees, but all of those employees have something that is connected to their network, that's really where things can go awry for a business. So I think this is awesome that you guys are offering this. So where is this going to be held?
It will be at the ERUCC, which is the church located at 15 West Church. So right on Church Street, close to Market Street, the one where you walk down the steps to get into the big meeting room.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, they have a great space there. And is there a cost to attend?
No, this is free. This is free. We thought this was important enough that we would make it available. Like I mentioned, we reserved a certain number of seats for our clients, but we also wanted to open it up to the public because we think it's a topic that really has a lot of broad interest. And one thing I would say is, and I am not a cyber expert, that's what the panelists are for, right? And that's kind of the point is, I don't think a small business owner, it depends how large your company is, but many of them are not experts in cyber. And frankly, they can't afford to hire a cyber expert. But what you can afford to do is get educated and make connections. So you're taking the proper steps to do everything you can to protect yourselves. And then when there is a problem, to react quickly. One thing I know is everybody's website, everybody's critical systems, they're getting attacked on a frequent basis. And so what you want to do is have those systems in place to detect any intrusions and to stop them before they become a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell you, it is knowledge is power. And like you say, as a small business owner, even a medium-sized business owner, you're wearing all the hats and it's very hard to be the expert at all. But you turn to the experts when things like that happen. So this is a great opportunity for local businesses to get a little bit of information, make some contacts, get some resources, and keep that data protected. We appreciate you guys offering this to them. We've got the link in our calendar, and I'll also put it on screen for our business clients out there. And we thank you guys so much. I think this is really important.
That's great. And we appreciate you helping us spread the word. It's something that is one of our core values, is giving back to the community. So we're very happy to bring this forward. And I'll also mention the networking is going to be great. It's always great at Frederick. So if you're able to attend, and we hope you are, get there early at 8 o'clock and then stay after the formal programs for some more informal networking afterwards.
All right, Rich. I'll let all my people go. You can just watch the stream after. It's on YouTube forever. You can watch it when you get back to the office or when you get home that evening. No, you need to go. This is a great and if you're watching and your boss hasn't seen this information, pass it along to them and let them know this is really important, and it'd be great for them to attend. So thank you so much. And we'll make sure everybody knows what to do and when.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Dani.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is Total Car Care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
All right. It is now time for Possum Pets, sponsored by Pet and Home Care. Trusted and reliable care since 1999, providing top quality service from highly trained pet care professionals. Pet sitting, doggy daycare, or kenneling, Pet and Home Care is the best choice with simple online scheduling and 24/7 availability. They are always there for you. Go to petandhomecare.com for more information. And now we are going to meet Kitty and see if Kitty is a possum pet for you.
Frederick County Animal Shelter and Good Morning Frederick proudly present Possum Pets. Sponsored by Pet and Home Care. Now let's meet today's adorable adoptable pet.
Meet Kitty, this week's Pet of the Week. Kitty arrived at the shelter in May, and during his examination we noticed he had a wound of an unknown origin. Since we didn't know what caused the wound, and his rabies vaccination status was unknown, he was placed with the foster family for observation. His observation period is over, and he is now ready for adoption. His foster mom had the following to say about Kitty. Kitty is a curious cat. He's very playful and has lots of energy. He'd make a great playmate cat. He likes to play in his water bowl and splashes water everywhere while washing his paws. Kitty likes to be held and pet. If you're interested in Kitty or any other animal at the shelter, please make a reservation at visitfcac.as.me or give us a call at 301-600-1546. During the month of October, all adoption fees have been reduced by $20. Also, through a generous grant from Subaru and the ASPCA, microchipping is free at our weekly clinics, which are held every Wednesday from 10 to 3. If you can't make a Wednesday clinic, we will be at Frederick Subaru this Saturday, October 12th from 9 to 1, offering free microchipping.
It's Dani. I want to tell you how amazing Zoomin' Groomin' of Frederick and Rockville is. First, let's talk about convenience. It's so convenient that they come right to your door. Now, we've got two pets who get groomed each visit. We've got Remy, our daughter's cat, and he just gets a nail trim, which takes literally minutes. We tried clipping his nails a few times ourselves, but I'm afraid to cut too short. Then there's our girl, Callie. She's our high anxiety baby, always has been. And it's so great that I don't have to drive her anywhere because she gets really worked up before going to the other groomer. And I hated that she was kenneled before and after her groom. So with Zoomin' Groomin', I go online, make an appointment, and I select the bath and blowout service for her. That includes her nail trim, which I love too. So she gets her nails, she smells so good, and the groomer comes right to our door, takes her, gets her bathed, and within about 20 minutes, she's back feeling great. Now you can make an appointment online at zoomingrooming.com. Under locations, select Maryland and Frederick and Rockville. Zoomin' Groomin', convenient, professional, perfect. You don't have to leave the house. Ah, yes. Fantastic. All right. Coming up on tomorrow's show, Bob and Chris from WFMD's Morning News Express are back. You'll get part 2 of my interview with Chris Haugh. And Danielle Rizzo joins me from the Marielle Agency, as well as Laura Like, who's bringing Amway back. Tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Have an amazing day. Get out there and be great, Frederick.
From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view. There's something special here, you feel it. Good Morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view. There's something special here, you feel it too. Your whole state